this video is to explain to you why each module for each week seems to include a preponderance of materials. And that is because I include, if I can, a video and a reading, and preferably even some very short videos to set the tone for what we hope to learn that week and to give you the background you need about the literature that we will read. So in our folder for week 1, for example, I did remember to make a to-do list because the actual deliverables include getting a screenshot from the Apollo or from any one of these videos and writing about it in the discussion, and also taking this quiz about the Apollo. However, I also have here a quote from one of those very short videos that simply gives us, or I'm sorry, that's the quote from Burns, gives us some context about modernity, which is one of our key terms, and a threshold term that we need to understand the Harlem Renaissance. We also have our introductory poem and discussion in week 1. In week 2, I have the unadulterated, shall we say, copies of each of the readings, but also OneDrive links in which I make particular comments about the reading and about what's going on in each of our materials. I might still make those for Hughes and Schuyler. I have some that are done by hand somewhere, but currently they're not marked up in week 3. In addition to those various forms of the reading, we have this additional discussion and a quiz, and that's very often how the pattern goes week to week. And unfortunately, we don't have as much video for last week, but we do have this Padlet that we didn't get to last week that just presents some images that go along with our key terms and things that we need to remember as our threshold terms to begin to understand the Harlem Renaissance. So I hope that you can just use your intellectual curiosity and choose among these various things to pique your interest and find ways to analyze what we're reading, not just summarize it. The TLTR document is short for too long to read, and I just updated the one from week 2. And yes, I'm sorry, I know it is week 3, but there was a snow day, so things are a little crazy. I'll get things smoothed out soon, I promise. First of all, I have another really quick excerpt from a 2-minute video. The one about the modern world was from week 1. And I also have some excerpts from Alan Locke's essay, The New Negro, which I compare to elements of the identity that forms in Imperium and Imperio with Belton and again, this is the wrong document still. Sorry. But you can see the link to the actual New Negro full essay right here. And I will find the properly structured copy of that document that I've worked on for a long time shortly. Also in the weekly materials, the TLTR for week 3 focuses a little bit more on primitivism and some of the stereotypes and some of the jeopardy that and the dissatisfaction that Black authors face from white patrons and sponsors when they tried to articulate their connection to other cultures of the world, particularly those of Africa and the African diaspora. Our 2 readings are here, and again, the quiz. There isn't a discussion this week because we will start thinking about ways to compare and contrast the identities and the ways that each of these writers use art to comment on culture and race. So I will update everything that needs to be updated before I send you the announcement. And feel free, the TLTRs often have images and they're a couple of pages long, and they're to help you consolidate the big ideas and the threshold terms that we're using week to week.